We have heard, and this is going to be an applied talk, I think, rather than a general talk. We have heard a lot about risks in the last day. A myriad of risks. We have heard that our government is a risk. We have heard that our fellow citizens are risks. We have heard that Islamic terrorists are risks. We've heard that other cultures are risks. We've heard that our own culture is a risk. We've heard a lot about risks. But in terms of the application of your efforts in your own portfolio, the greatest risk that you are going to face is not, in fact, taxation. It's not regulation. It's not issuer fraud. It's not the clash between Islam and Christianity. It's not even peak oil. The greatest risk that you face as an investor, not as a human being, but as an investor, is conveniently located to the left of your right ear and to the right of your left ear. Quoting that great investor Pogo, we have met the enemy, and he is us. When you take in all of the risks that face you, it's the risk that you run yourself, not managing your emotions, not managing your intellect. It's the risk that you make a mistake that's a controllable mistake. As this gentleman says, the preceding gentleman says, there is something liberating about figuring out that the world faces really serious, inescapable challenges. But you yourself, facing those challenges, engineer solutions that will at least impact your own outcome, perhaps relative to everyone else's outcome. The truth is, and there's nothing scandalous or even selfish about this, the world works better when everybody takes care of his or herself. There are less problems when people look after themselves. So I would urge you to do well for the world by doing well for yourself and your family and addressing those risks. George Soros, I think, put the investing process and the risks that we can control ourselves in, he crystallized them when he said that he had become a billionaire by finding commonly held precepts that were incorrect and betting against them. And there are a lot of commonly held precepts in the world that I think you can bet against, and I think you have to bet against in order to do well. One, and I'm not going to go through the whole range of them, but one that occurs to me that you've seen in the last 4 or 5 weeks is that the safest instrument in the world are long-term U.S. Treasuries. This astonishes me. I'm not trying to say that, you'll hear at this conference that the U.S. dollar is the worst currency in the world. I think it is, except all the others. But that's a different question. The idea that you would go to a liquid lie, U.S. government denominations, rather than illiquid lies, really is a function of time. And so one commonly held precept that I think is really, really, really being played out in world markets is that the US dollar is somehow some store of value. I realize I'm speaking to kindred spirits here, but that is a precept that I think is wrong, and I think it's a precept that you can bet against.